YouTubers and cinephiles. You know what? I have a question for you. I'm John Ricky, by the way. But my question is, do you think Andy Serkis should be nominated for Best Actor? Because after watching a little film called War of the Planet of the Apes, I think he should be. He is incredible. He's been doing this for 20 years, doing great performances as Caesar, as King Kong, especially as Gollum. He's incredible, and he does not disappoint. Actually, he expands on what he's already done with Caesar, made it a very endearing character that you forget he's CG. And of course, he continues that with War of the Planet of the Apes. Wow. War of the Planet of the Apes is the third installment in the new rebooted trilogy of Planet of the Apes movies, aka the prequel trilogy. Wow. This is a hell of a trilogy in itself. I mean, for the fact that I didn't know what was going to happen. When they announced that they were doing a reboot or a prequel to the original Planet of the Apes that came out in 1968, I was just like, why? They already screwed up with Tim Burton's 2001 version with Mark Wahlberg. Like, that was really bad. And how are you going to top that twist ending of the original? Go check it out if you haven't seen it. And man, when I saw that first movie, The Rise, wow, it really floored me. One, for the CG effects were just phenomenal, and two, for the way the story was going. I mean, I thought it was going to follow human characters mostly, but really it was more about Caesar, the ape, the mythical savior from the original series, and they really connected it pretty well to the original. But then Dawn came out a few years later, and it was even better than Rise, and that's actually directed by Matt Reeves, who directed War as well. And if you don't know who Matt Reeves is, he did Cloverfield, which I thought was good, is entertaining. The Let the Right One In remake, Let Me In, with Chloe Moretz, which was an interesting take on the original. And now these past two, man, Matt Reeves is steadily becoming one of my favorite directors right now. With these two, he went far and beyond what I was expecting with this trilogy. I thought it was just going to be a nice little, oh, hey, yeah, Caesar, whatever, you know, still be good. But what he did with Dawn, and really put Caesar in the forefront. He is the main character. It's all about his evolution. And with Andy Serkis portraying Caesar, man, these two make a great pair. And they just did it again with War. They just continued it with this movie, War. Both Dawn and War of the Planet of the Apes, they have action in them, but they are pure sci-fi drama at its core. That actually, looking at it through Caesar's eyes, we're actually seeing humanity from an outside perspective, from like a third party's perspective, because we're looking at all these characters and the way they're portrayed. And most of the characters are apes and using sign language. We don't bat an eye because they are so endearing of characters, especially Caesar, situations with his family, his disposition, or rather his position when it comes to dealing with the humans and the simian flu and how they're treating apes and so on and so forth. When we come in on War, like, it's at its breaking point. Everything is, it basically lives up to its name. It is a full-out war. They've been going out for 2 years, you know, and this military outfit has been hunting down Caesar all on those times. And the outfit is led by Woody Harrelson, who is great in his villainy right here, but also a very focused character, and revelations that you find out later in the film. You're like, oh, okay, I kind of understand why he's just like, he's where he is. But let's just say in War, him and Caesar clash heads in the biggest way imaginable and most emotional way possible. And this movie starts off as a revenge film, which eventually turns into something more. But what's great about this film is that within like the great CG fest of characters, you know, which looks amazing, the CG looks incredible. I mean, you're looking at all these characters that are completely CG, and you have to remind yourself that these are CG characters because they look so photorealistic. There's this particular point with Maurice, the big, I want to say baboon looking, but the one with the flat face character. He's looking straight at you. and you're like, wow, I feel like I'm looking at the real thing. It is just immensely incredible, and plus that's a very poignant scene. It just really tugs at the heartstrings. I mean, this movie has everything. I mean, it even has a little comedy in it, but it has drama. The themes, the characters are the hallmark of this film, of this series. Like, those are the most important things that you feel for Caesar and his characters and his other merry band of characters that he comes across, and it pulls it off so well, along with its many themes that are just astounding. I mean, there's themes of loss, vengeance, humanity, regret, especially with how Caesar feels about his position with humanity, and actually connects to the previous film with Don, with his remembrance of Koba, the villain from the last film, and is used just enough to like really emphasize like how his mind works, what he's thinking about in the midst of everything else, and it just works so well. And the ending is a great ending, and it's really, everything comes like full circle. I'm not gonna say how, obviously, but I think it's just great the way it ended. Caesar is an amazing character created by an amazing actor in Andy Serkis. That man really deserves to be just nominated for Best Actor. This film right now is in my top 5 Best Pictures of the year, and I hope the Academy recognizes it for it, because it is an amazing film. Wow. So on that note, I give War of the Planet of the Apes a nice big
I'll be back.
Yeah, man. I'll be back 10 times for this movie. This movie is just so good, so well made. I can't wait for Matt Reeves to take a stab at Batman. I'm really excited about that now. Hey guys, check it out, and check out the next videos that are coming up. Like, subscribe, comment, and thanks for hearing my review, YouTubers and Cinephiles. You take care.